I'm Kathy Luker, a CPA who specializes in helping HVAC business owners take control of their finances. Today's session is called SOPs to Scale, Standardizing Your Business for Growth. Now, when I say SOPs or standard operating procedures, you might imagine corporate red tape or giant binders collecting dust on the shelf, but that's not what this is about. What we're really talking about today is freedom. Your freedom as a business owner to delegate, grow, and rest easy knowing your team is doing things your way, even when you're not there. If you've ever said, nobody does it like I do, or I can't step away or the whole thing will fall apart, today's topic is exactly what you need. So let's start by making this simple. SOPs are just written instructions for how something should be done in your business. They're like a playbook your team can follow to deliver consistent results. They take your knowledge, the way you want things handled, and make it usable by your team. Here's why they matter. They create consistency across your business. They speed up training for new hires. And they reduce costly errors and callbacks. And most importantly, they free you up to work on your business, not constantly in it. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to lock yourself in a room and write a 100-page manual. We're going to keep it lean, useful, and practical. So where do you start? I'm going to walk you through the 5 most important SOPs every HVAC business should have in place. Okay, first up, and maybe most overlooked, is how you handle incoming calls and scheduled jobs. Your dispatcher, office manager, or even you, whoever takes that first call is the voice of your brand. That moment sets the tone for the whole customer experience. And here's what I see too often. 2 different people answer the phone in 2 completely different ways. One is friendly and collects everything needed. The other forgets the service address and books a job without enough details. So what's the result? Confused technicians, missed appointments, wasted time, and frustrated customers. A simple SOP can prevent that. It should include a greeting script, a checklist of questions to ask, a step-by-step process for booking the call, and notes about urgency, warranty status, and technician preferences. Now, one of my clients implemented this and saw a 40% drop in rescheduled appointments just from standardizing how calls were booked. Now, that's real ROI. Next is your sales SOP, which I like to call quote-to-close system. Without this, every tech becomes a freelance salesperson, and that's risky. So let's say one tech offers financing while another doesn't. One uses a handwritten invoice, another emails something from their phone. You're sending a confusing message. So this SOP should answer, what's our pricing and proposal method? Are we offering good, better, best options? Do we offer financing, and when? What's the follow-up process if the customer doesn't buy today? Who enters the job into the system? The result is consistent proposals, higher close rates, and better margins. When your team knows how to present jobs with confidence, the customer trusts your process and your pricing. SOP number 3, what happens in the field? This is where you have the most to gain or lose in terms of customer satisfaction and profitability. Your SOP should walk the tech through pre-job prep checklist. Do they have the right tools, parts, and paperwork? Customer interaction. How do they introduce themselves? What do they need to inspect, test, or document? How do they explain the service? Job execution. What steps need to be followed? What photos or notes are required? What signatures are needed? And cleanup. What's the expectation for how they leave the job site? Are they leaving the home cleaner than they found it? When everyone follows the same process, your reputation soars and your callbacks drop. If you ever want to franchise, sell the business, or just step back, these SOPs are what create real value and transferability. The job costing and closeout SOP is all about protecting your bottom line. So many HVAC owners tell me, I'm busy, but I don't feel like I'm making money. If you don't know exactly how much labor and materials went into each job, you don't know your margins. And if you don't know your margins, you're guessing about profit. Often the issue is poor job costing. You need a standard process for logging labor hours accurately by job, by task, and when it's due. Excuse me. Capturing all materials used, especially truck stock versus special orders. Reviewing job profitability before closing. Who reviews? Does it look reasonable or did we miss something? Finalizing paperwork and invoicing. Where and when is this done and by whom? At the job site or back in the office? Even a simple checklist item, such as did we collect the balance or did we apply the right warranty code, can save thousands. Without a closeout SOP, you risk underbilling, missing cost, or closing jobs that aren't actually done. One of my HVAC clients found that 30% of their install jobs had missing labor hours. That meant thousands of dollars in profit was slipping through the cracks simply because the techs didn't have a clear process to follow. So this SOP helps you tighten up the financial side so you're not just working hard, you're actually making money. Last but not least, and this is one of the most neglected areas, is your hiring and onboarding SOP. Hiring is hard right now and expensive, but when you do find someone good, the last thing you want is for them to have a terrible first week and quit, because that's even more expensive. Your SOP should outline the application and interview process, what questions are asked, how you assess technical and cultural fit, verification, how do you check licenses and references, what happens after they're hired, how are they introduced to your team, systems, and expectations, what does their first day, first week, and first month look like? Are they riding along with a senior tech? Do they get a company handbook or field manual? I recommend a 30, 60, 90-day onboarding plan that includes ride-alongs, system training, and even cultural fit touch points like explaining your company values and service philosophy. You can watch the second event in this series, Recruiting and Retaining Technicians in a Tight Labor Market, that was done on June 18th for more information on this. So let's talk about some quick stories, real situations I've seen that shows just how critical SOPs are. The first story is a service tech swapped out a thermostat, but didn't note it in the job record. The customer called back 2 weeks later claiming it was never installed. No photo, no documentation, no SOP followed. And the company ended up eating the cost of a second trip and a second thermostat. A simple checklist with a line that says photograph installed thermostat and log model number in the app would have avoided all of this. Second story, a new hire scheduled a service call 90 minutes away in the middle of the day, causing the tech to miss 2 other jobs. Why? No scheduling SOP. No guidelines on routing. One mistake cost nearly $1,000 in lost revenue that day. And a third story, an install crew left boxes and trash behind in a customer's garage. The job itself was perfect, but the customer left a 1-star review online and refused to refer the company to anyone. The SOP didn't mention cleanup, but it sure does now. Each of these examples represents time, money, and credibility lost, all because there wasn't a system in place. So here's the deal. SOPs aren't about control, they're about clarity. They tell your team what's expected, how to do it, and how to deliver results you can be proud of. If you feel like you're the only one holding your business together, you probably are. And SOPs are the bridge between chaos and control. You don't need to systemize everything today. Just pick one process that frustrates you the most and start there. Write it down. Record yourself doing it. Give your team a path to follow so your team can give your customers consistency and they can give you the freedom to lead instead of fighting fires. If you're ready to start building SOPs and you want guidance on where to focus or how to tie them into your finances, that's exactly what we help our clients do. If you'd like to talk about how we can work together to clean up your systems, track your numbers, and get your business ready to scale, just send me a message or email me at Kathy@KathleenLukerCPA.com, and I'll send you a link to book a free profit and cash flow analysis call with me. Don't forget, next Wednesday, we're talking about cash flow forecasting and a seasonal business, planning ahead for lean seasons. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week, same time, same place.